motivation, meditation, inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. So let's go ahead and start looking at how we can utilize the challenges that we face off against so that we can overcome them, how we can get to a place of focus, blessings. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Blessings, Kyle. Getting into this this focus game, getting this thing going, starting
What's
to get
up,
down
my
with
brother?
How's it going? Blessings, motivation, meditation.
Not too bad, boy. I've missed you the past few times. That you're on too early.
Yep.
You're on too early.
So we're talking about focus today. Talking about the ability to put yourself in a place where what you're doing in your day you start to utilize. So, how have you started to utilize what I've been telling you is actually works?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. So what are some of the tools that you're utilizing?
Well, can't really say in particular. Just I've been just stopping and thinking, more about stuff that you've been saying, and it has been working. So
what things have you been stopping and thinking? Like what?
Well, it's just more of the confidence building.
Okay.
My confidence has been getting more built up, which is good. So I'm actually going out to lunch today with an uncle that I absolutely hate, which is kind of crazy, and it's all kind of due to your little therapy sessions there, and
sure.
I kind of came to the conclusion that she kind of got to bite the bullet and get on with life, and
right.
The guy's not going to kill you, like the guy's not going to kill me or anything, and his other family's going to be there, and get on with life,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is when you don't let the things from the past bother you.
Yeah.
They have no effect over you. But you have to focus past it.
And like I was taking a shower today, and I was going to just stay at home while my entire family was going to go out to eat for lunch. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is kind of bullshit right here. And I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up.
Kyle, we have to keep it a little bit kid-friendly because I do videotape and I put it on YouTube, so we can't really use cuss words, but...
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up and surprise them. And
well, the great part is that you're facing off against the things, so they no longer have the ability to affect you anymore.
Exactly. And this wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have watched your videos.
That's a blessing. That means you're getting yourself out there, and you're starting to make sure that these type of effects don't allow you to stop yourself.
Yeah.
See, what happens if you stay home and not allow yourself to go there, you manifest that for yourself. So your internal focus ends up saying, oh, it's not worth it. So you tell your inside, okay, so the part of you inside of you that's in your thought process now says, oh, this is a bad experience because this person's there. Well, this is a great experience even if this person is there, it is because it ain't about them.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, as you develop this fear, and, it's amazing how impactful fear can be, and how fear can take over, your mind and really your body. Fear can take over your body. You gain weight from it. You can lose weight from it. But fear mainly takes over your mind. And, you can't let fear take over the mind. For the longest time, I have let fear take over my mind from getting a job. And, I had to bite the bullet and go out and find a job. And I'm currently laid off from that job. But, you know, um, I was kind of forced to get a job because I need to bring in some money.
Right.
But, you know, um, fear is fear is real, folks. I mean, it's real. And, the meditation, if you can get into a good it's the way that you practice.
Whoa, I guess you got hung up there. Hopefully you can get back online here and share this with some people here, that they can start to take the light there from within. I don't know how you got disconnected there, Kyle. But yes, overcoming these types of things are definitely important. Getting ourselves to a place, Kyle, I think you got disconnected there. Um, Getting to a place where you're utilizing what I talk about, utilizing the ability to get inside of yourself to start to overcome your own challenges, to start to utilize things, like this in your favor. Hopefully you could get back online there, Kyle. But that's what I talk about every day. Here's a case where a guy, has family who tries to not allow him to be himself, and you have to see past that point. You have to see to the point where you can benefit from that experience. You can benefit from those people being a part of it. That what you have inside is greater than what's going on around you, and that you're not going to allow yourself to be limited anymore in your mindset. So the first place we start getting going is in our mind. We start getting the level of focus in such a way that we can identify with the positive even in negative situations. And so that's a really great story. That starts out this focus on such a place that, that is where the reflection comes out, is that we're not going to allow other people to stop us from being ourselves. When we can bypass that, we can start to overcome these kinds of challenges. And so that is why the tools that we utilize on a daily basis are so important. They're a part of our ability to get within ourselves. They're an ability to continue to operate and to almost like dominate your walk. To dominate your day comes from your mindset. It comes from an able mentality. So I think we're going to be able to get him back here online. So Kyle, realize that...
Hey man, I'm sorry, I had a phone call. Somebody was calling me.
Blessings, brother. So see here, realize that what I've been explaining to you is actually working. Realize that you are putting yourself in a place where that person no longer has the effect over you. And like I said, fear moves out of the way when you don't allow it to take over your focus any longer.
It does. And, you just have to push that fear aside. And, if you can get into that mindset, push that fear aside and, clear your mind, really, you become a whole new person. But,
sure,
you should just have to, it's difficult.
And that's the teacher
that fear aside.
Inside of ourselves. That's the teacher. See, here's the thing. You are both a student and the teacher of yourself. And so when you give yourself the time to utilize both, what happens is you start to see that really is that person doesn't even have an effect over me anymore, because it ain't about them. It's not about what I screwed up in the past. It never is. It's about where I am right now, how I'm doing it, how I'm taking over it, how I'm dominating my thought process. Am I going to allow myself to not let this person have an effect over me anymore, because my focus is no longer in such a way that they even have the ability to affect me?
Right. And what a lot of people think is, you're the center of their world. And the thing is, that's just not true. That's just
Sure.
not true. You know, people have their own problems. People have their own lives, and really, you're at the bottom of their list. You
And
know,
that's where people start to find themselves, is at the bottom.
yeah,
They find
yeah,
themselves when they're in complete darkness by themselves. The word guru means to go from darkness to light.
right,
So when one starts to study the situation and starts to see that this situation is actually a positive move in a direction that you're no longer that person anymore. You're not going to let those types of things have an effect over you. Those people that are going to be there are not going to let you stop enjoying the other people that are a part of your family. That helps not only just you out, it helps them out to see the true person inside of you, Kyle.
right. Exactly, exactly. I know. You know, it's when I got arrested, and so I got arrested at work in front of about 50 of my coworkers, and you know, I had to go to work that Monday. I was dreading it, absolutely dreading it. But I was forced into that situation. I was arrested on a Friday. I was bailed out on Saturday. So, you know, has Sunday to kind of recover mentally, you know, physically. But on that Monday, it was back to the work grind. But I had to walk back into that situation where 40, 50 women saw me get arrested and talking about an uncomfortable situation, and everyone's just staring at you like, oh my gosh, I saw you get arrested on Friday. Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
at a certain point inside, it becomes a great thing that that happened, because the challenges that we face off against, when we overcome, they show our true focus.
Right,
And so, yes, that might have been a difficult situation, but ultimately inside, the place of liberation is right there. You know, the ability
exactly.
to say to yourself, I went through this and I got here, you know, that is worth more than all the other stuff combined.
Right. But you know what? I lived. You know, I mean, here I am today. You know, I mean, I was dreading that Monday, but I lived. I was thinking, oh my goodness, everyone's going to look at me, stare at me, come up and talk to me, and, you know, just give me dirty looks. They didn't do any of that. They
Because
didn't do any of that.
you didn't let around you what was going on around you affect what was going on within you.
Yeah. You
And
know, I mean,
that's
I'm sure people talked,
sure they
you
did.
know,
And that's what it's
absolutely.
about. It's just their own reflection. See,
Yeah.
people are going to call you good, and they're going to call you positive, and they're going to call you negative things.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide what you're going to call yourself.
Exactly. But, you know, I mean, you know, you can't stop people from talking. I mean,
Sure
that's
you
their
can't.
own opinion,
You don't
you know?
have you don't have the ability over anything but yourself.
Right. People are entitled to their own opinion, you
So
know?
it's within that that you start to become the person inside. It's with using the tools that you have that you can sit down, and it's not a surprise that the result starts to head in that direction into a positive way.
Right.
So that's the reason why I always say write everything down, is because when you start to look at it, you start to create a way in which you can find the positivity from the situations even when they're working against you.
Right. Right.
And so this is a really great thing, Kyle, that you're going to go and you're going to be able to enjoy the rest of your family, that you're not going to let the one person who thought that they were going to have something over you have anything over you, because that means that the rest of the people see that you are not going to allow yourself to be anything less than yourself.
Right.
There have been a lot of times when I'm out driving people, and there would be somebody who would get in the car and they would automatically start this whole negativity type thing, right? And so as they were in the car with me, I would not acknowledge the negativity. And it would ultimately make their thought process go into a direction in which the only thing they could do was come out as a positive.
I'm following you.
So by not allowing yourself to be affected by it, by not not allowing what they're going to do to affect you, and you're not going to acknowledge that, then they have no way to utilize it in such a way that it has an effect over you.
Well, okay, here's a question. So we're at lunch today, and now this is just a hypothetical, and he pops off something smart, like, smart aleck, and do I just brush it off, or what do I do?
So the way that you do it is you don't brush it off, you just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like, I don't want to cuss on your show, but I mean,
So let me go ahead and explain to you how this works.
Looking like a little girl. I mean,
no, it's not looking like a little girl. It actually shows your level of intelligence. It shows that, look, you might have been all over what I was in the past. You might have been right about that. But I'm telling you, the person I am right here, right now, you don't know this person.
No.
You don't know the person that I am, and that the reflection come out of me. You don't know what it's going to take for me to reach a level where you can't go. You don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a hot topic in the family is like the family is divided up on the mask situation right now. We believe up here in Sedalia, we believe in wearing the masks, and the people who are coming up, they don't believe in wearing the masks. So they're not going to be wearing the masks, and I'm sure that's going to be a topic that gets brought up, and it's going to, it's going to probably explode everybody, into a deep conversation, and probably get heated.
So the way to go about that subject is to just let them be themselves. The people who want to wear it and the people who don't want to wear it, that's up to them. 100%. I mean, have you ever been in a situation where, because you got to recognize that there's going to be multiple, you're trying to search for the most positive outcome, okay?
No.
So how are you going to find a positive outcome when one type of people believes that all of these things are going to happen, and another type of people say, why are we going to do this? So
it's difficult.
So you have to look from both of their angles. It's actually giving yourself the ability to not be tied down to your own angle. That's focus. It's the ability to see from where the people without the masks are and the people with the masks, so that you can see the positive in both.
But when you have all those doctors on TV, telling you to put on those masks whenever you're out in public.
It's a mentality, right? What did we learn about fear?
Huh?
That it moves out of the way of focus, right?
I know.
What is the major focus of being there? Positivity, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So you have to search for the positivity in that angle, and the way to do that is to let them be themselves. Like you're gonna want them to let you be yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you got to let them be themselves as well.
Focus on your food. Focus on your food.
Yeah. What kind of plates we're gonna have? We're all here together. It's a great thing that we're here together. Let them be the ones. That's ultimately how people can see that what we are is not allowing the things, because it's in our mind. The real manifestation comes from within. The reflection on the outside is just a test.
Right.
The thing that's happening there is that you're getting the ability to be yourself, and people are getting the ability to see you for you. And when you do that, when you give yourself that, when you get into that part of yourself where you're so focused that the things that are coming out are right there for you, So like one of those ways is by like writing it down. So one of the ways that you can start to master this, Kyle, is before you go there, write the outcome down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So write
Sorry,
down.
just had another phone call.
It's
I'm
okay.
gonna be checking out here, so they're about ready to come and pick me up.
Okay. Listen, write down the outcome right now.
Okay.
Write down the outcome right now.
Okay.
And no matter the situation that happens around you, you find your way to that outcome. So make sure that you're so focused that, man, this is going to be a nice ability. And so what you're going to do is you're going to manifest it. You're going to give yourself the ability to focus to the point where the result is not a surprise. You're not surprised this person is going to come to you this way. This is how you're going to react. You're going to put yourself in a place where you can see the most positive angle in all of the situations. So this means if they bring up this is how I'm going to do it. If they bring up this, and you'll start to notice that those things will start to move out of the way on their own. You don't need to make them move out of the way. They will for themselves.
So don't be surprised that, they act, like, buttholes. Just, keep acting positive and enjoy your lunch, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Get them to be the ones that show themselves. But
Yeah.
don't be the person that the reflection comes from. Being that person who's so focused that this is going to become the outcome no matter what they do. If one of them wants to storm out because they can't handle it, that's on them. That's not on you.
Okay.
See,
all right, man. Well, they're here. I appreciate your help.
Blessings, brother.
If you get on later tonight, I'll be on. I'm usually back at the house around 7:00 Missouri time. So
right, I'm starting to try to get up early and to get this thing going early, but I'm really grateful that you did that for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Realize that the result is up to you.
Come on, Daisy.
It's up to you to choose that for yourself. Okay.
All right. Well, hey, man, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it, dude.
You're welcome. You have a blessed day,
right.
okay?
Yep. Blessings. We'll see you later, okay?
All right.
Take care. Just have a good one, okay?
Okay.
Peace.
I'm excited to hear you later. All right. So, that's an exact example of utilization of focus. Utilizing the ability to get down with yourself. Allowing yourself to write stuff down. Allowing yourself to utilize tools that you do have. Allowing yourself to get down with the challenges that you are going to ultimately face off against, and allowing yourself to put yourself in a place where what is coming out of you is positivity. What other people are seeing from within you is becoming a reflection on the outside. So when you allow yourself to have an able mentality, when you allow yourself that the results are only going to happen because you allow yourself to be put in that way, where your thought process works in your angle, where the challenges that you face off against, the things that you go through on a daily basis, you have the ability to overcome. That you have the ability to ultimately become the one on your journey, on your path, on your ability to get within yourself, to get to the place where you have that ability inside of yourself to look at things that other people would start to see that kind of reflection coming out of you. So as you can hear there, it is definitely working. It's helping to give the ability to open up ourselves to who we truly are on the inside. The types of challenges that we truly go through on a daily basis. The types of things that we are challenging ourselves to do, to become. The reflection that radiates outwards from within ourselves is that ability. It's the ability to get to that place where we have an able mentality, where we focus to that point where it's not a surprise how other people are going to act. We are not in control of other people. We're in control of ourselves. We're in control of our ability to get down with who we are on the inside. And so when we are willing to challenge ourselves to that point when we're willing to get to that place inside of who we are, where it doesn't matter what's going on around us, it's truly what's going on inside of us. The reflection outward is not what matters. People are going to call you positive things, people are going to call you negative things. It's ultimately up to you to focus into the positivity, to turn every challenge that you have positive, to take every ability within yourself that the reflection will radiate outwards with that you have what it takes to focus to that point, that you are a tool in this universe, that when people ask you to go to things like a lunch, and you're at this lunch, that even when the negativity comes, that you're so focused on the positivity that you even turn that negativity into a positivity, that you take that and you put it in such a way that it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It's ultimately what's going on inside you. And so how could we start to utilize these kind of tools to dominate our day? How could we start to write stuff down? That was a perfect example of how to do so. And so another way is by listening to positivity, by giving yourself that ability to get down with those kinds of challenges that you have, to get to the place inside of ourselves where what we have is there. What we have is a blessing. What kind of challenges we're ultimately facing off against are not a surprise that the results are coming in. We're not a surprise that we're not that type of person, that we truly are who we are. And so when we are not facing off against somebody else, when we're not trying to find somebody else to create a solution for us, we're ultimately becoming our own reflection. We're becoming our own mastery. We're becoming our own focus, our own ability to use the tools that we have. We're becoming our own form of a tool in the universe, that this universe has the ability to utilize you, that this universe can utilize what you do have, and it will utilize what you do have if you allow it to. And so how do you start to use your tools in such a way that you turn those things into a positivity, that you turn those things into a place where they no longer have the effect that they used to have over you, because it's not about them anymore. It's about what's going on inside of you. It's about what you say about you. It's about what you focus on about yourself. It's about what you have inside of yourself to face off against the challenges that ultimately you have to face off against, so that you can get to the place where you want to go. And so, are you going to allow other people to stop you, or do you have what it takes? Can you listen to positivity so that when the negatives come, you can turn them into positivity? Are you able to identify with these things? Are you able to get down with yourself so you can see how turning them positive works in your favor? Turning them positive puts it in such a way that there's no challenge that you ultimately can't overcome. There's no challenge that you don't have the ability to see is worth it, that you ultimately are the one who's got to be you versus you, that you can go within yourself to focus to that point where when you write stuff down, it starts to work for you. That when you write stuff down, it starts to become that kind of reflection. That when you write stuff down, the reflection outwards is coming from within you. And so when you see the positivity, you utilize this. You start to search after things in such a way that that's what's becoming the reflection, and that is what other people are seeing. So when they expect anything other than that, there's nothing there for them to get. There's nothing there for them to do. There's nothing for them to do, because you're going to take everything that they throw at them and start turning it positive. You're going to start taking the challenges that you have in front of you, and you're going to start putting them into a positive place. You're going to put them into an ability that you can overcome your own challenges. So let's go ahead and start looking at how we can start to go inwards with this. So when we start to utilize the able mentality, when we start to utilize the ability to go within ourselves with the level of focus, the process of becoming the student inside the classroom of ourselves starts to become available. The ability for us to choose the type of subjects that we want to work through, the ability to get inside of ourselves where the energy radiates outwards from our own level of focus, where the energy within ourselves starts to come from our ability to see that we have the ability to allow ourselves to manifest on the outside from what the absorption that's coming within ourselves. That the level of focus is a place within us, that what's going on around us is only being manifested by the ability to hit that kind of a place of observation, to hit that kind of a place within ourselves, that is where other people start to see this person is ultimately focused. This person is ultimately on their path, and there's nothing that I can do to change their ability to have an able mentality. That when they go do something, we see that they have what it takes. And so once you start to get within yourself, you start to recognize that you are definitely a student of yourself. That the challenges that you're facing off against are becoming results from within who you are. That this universe created you as a tool. That this universe has the ability to utilize what you do have. That with that kind of a focus, it starts to create a foundation. And with a solid foundation in focus, with a solid foundation in the ability to have that kind of place, to give yourself that kind of reflection, to give yourself that kind of ability to where you see what is going on around you is just result from your own place within you. So when you start to become that kind of a student of absorption, when you start to become that type of a student within yourself, where you start to get to the place within you that challenges you, then other people start to see the reflections on the outside. So it's never about them. It's always going to be you utilizing yourself. It's going to be you utilizing the tools that you have. It's going to be you utilizing what you can do with your own thought process, your own ability to focus to the point where the things and the obstacles that are around you no longer have the effect that they used to have. They no longer have the ability to hold you back. They no longer have the ability to stop you from going within yourself. And so when it isn't about somebody else, when it isn't about the ability for them to have that place to stop you, when they no longer have those kind of things over you, because you have ultimately utilized the tools in this universe intended for you, then the ability to see you as a reflection shows them that you are a motivation. It shows them that you are strong. It shows them that you have what it takes to overcome your own challenges. And so those are the only things that we truly face off against. We only truly face off against ourselves. We only truly face off against our ability to go within who we are. We only face off against that one person inside of who you are. And that is when the reflection outward starts to identify with it. And so when you are willing to be a student of focus, when you are truly willing to go within yourself, the reflections become the results. The reflections become what other people start to see. And so what matters is not what they see. What matters is what you focus on and where you are ultimately going. The things that you are ultimately going through. The challenges that you are ultimately facing off against, and how the ability for the reflection to become that of what you're looking for ultimately, even when other people are working against you. And so how do you start to utilize this daily? How do you start to get within yourself? You start to see that this universe starts to heat up to the person who will not allow people to get things that are not them. And so when you are truly in a place of extraction within yourself, when you extract the knowledge inside of oneself, That takes the ability to be patient with oneself. It takes the ability to get inside of oneself to the point where the tool of foundation heats up the knowledge inside of yourself. The student is inside of the classroom of you with your center breath. It gives you the patience with yourself. It gives you the ability to study yourself to the point where you start to extract the knowledge inside of yourself, where the energy within oneself hits a point where it no longer has the ability to stop you from gaining that kind of knowledge. It has no ability to stop you from going beyond where other people would go. And so this is where the energy inside of yourself starts to get extracted. The lessons inside of oneself start to open themselves up. The things that we start to go through on a daily basis have no ability to stop us from gaining that sufficient knowledge from the first seed of knowledge within you. The first seed of knowledge is there for you. It's asking you if you can liberate yourself. It's asking you if you can read that knowledge and gain the lesson and allow the things that are not there to give you the lesson to move aside, to where you can heat it up to the point where the knowledge comes out from within the lessons within ourselves, where you are ultimately becoming the student with the teacher inside the classroom, where the process inside starts to give you that kind of ability, where the process inside starts to become that kind of reflection, where we light up the knowledge inside of ourselves so we can extract it. So the foundation of focus moves the things out of the way, like fear, like fight and flight, like slavery and emotion, like time and organization, so that you can hit the foundation of focus so you can extract the knowledge within yourself from the first knowledge of every challenge, the first knowledge of every situation. The seed of those knowledge within yourself become free to the person who can focus to the point where they can manifest them, where they can actually start to get down with what's going on within themselves, where they can ultimately free themselves to the point where the challenge comes against them and they can overcome that challenge. So with the light within oneself, with ability to have that kind of place to gain the knowledge, this is when we start to recognize that it is available to you, that it has a place inside of you, that it has the reflection on the outside comes from within. And this type of mastery moves the universe in such a way that you are only needing to study yourself, that the things that are happening around you and the things that are happening within you are becoming a manifestation on the outside of your ability to go within yourself. And so when one goes within who they are, when one starts to learn the lessons inside of themselves, the opinion moves out of the way. The lesson, the true knowledge inside of yourself starts to free itself because you extract that knowledge from the ability to have an able mentality. When you start to get to the place where knowledge is liberation, because you're so focused that you have the ability to free yourself, then the things around you start to light up. The world around you starts to become a little bit brighter. The challenges that you go through no longer have the effect that they used to have over you. And so how do we get down with that part inside of who we are? How do we get to that place where those start to become reflections on the outside, where that starts to become a manifestation of the focus and knowledge within oneself centered to that point? And as you heard that guy saying, as soon as I focus to the point where I realized that the things that are going to move out of my way are ultimately up to me, that's when you no longer are being affected by this, where the knowledge inside of yourself gives you the ability to have the upper hand on the challenge that you're facing off against, the upper hand on the person that you are inside, the ability to get to that place where your focus and your knowledge allow you to be centered inside of oneself, that this becomes discipline, that this place where the focus has extracted the knowledge lights up the tunnel of yourself, lights up your journey, allows you to be sufficient, allows you to be in a place where your connection is within you, where you have that within yourself to overcome your own challenges, where you have that within yourself to get to that kind of a place where you enjoy the ability to see the challenges in front of you so that you could take them and turn them into a positivity, so that you can put your whole being, your knowledge and your focus in such a way that your whole breath creates a reflection on the outside from within who you are, where the things that you go through on a daily basis become a reflection outwards from within you, where these types of challenges that we go through are there for us. The blessings that we get on the outside come from this place of discipline. They come from this classroom, which is your classroom ultimately as well. And so, how do we start to get down with the knowledge and the focus within ourselves? How do we get to the place where the connection of focus and knowledge is the whole being? Blessings.
Hello.
Blessings.
What? Hello, how are you?
Blessed.
We from Russia. We not understand you. Little. What's going on?
Okay.
You're so beautiful.
Blessings.
I went meditation. Fuck you.
Okay, well, I do hope that you guys have a blessed day, okay?
Shut up.
Okay, so when we see all the challenges that we face off against, we have the ability to overcome. When we have the ability to get down with ourselves, where we have the ability to find that kind of a place where the challenges that we face off against no longer have the ability to stop us, where the challenges that we face off against are there to see the positivity in that, to see that this is possible, that you can truly be yourself, that you can truly go through challenges and you can find a positive outcome, that you can find an ability to dominate your walk, to dominate your day, to get to the place within yourself where what is happening around you is coming from what's going on within you. And so as we focus to that point, as we get to that place within ourselves where focus and knowledge start to utilize the level of discipline, that is when the reflection that other people see of ourselves becomes that of inspiration. And so the person who puts their whole entire being in such a way that they can overcome their own challenges, the person who puts their whole entire being in such a way that the reflection radiates outwards, that the reflection within oneself becomes this, that it has that kind of blessing in such a way that you are the blessing on a daily basis, that you are able to go through the challenges that you're going to go through, and the outcome is that. And that when you see that you're being utilized as a tool in this universe, that your focus and your knowledge are reaching a place where you are the classroom, where you are the blessing in this universe, where the challenges that you're going through, you have the ability to overcome, where what you faced off against no longer has the ability to stop you, that's when the light inside of yourself starts to light up the world. That's when other people start to see that through discipline, the reflection is radiating in such a way that other people are getting the ability to see the light inside of you. And so at that place, at that ability within yourself, at that ability to overcome your own challenges, at that ability to see that these types of things are blessings on a daily basis, that you can be focused and you can be knowledge within oneself, that the classroom that you are has the ability to light up not only your world, but other people can see that. That's when the things around you start to have the ability to become those kinds of reflection. They have the ability to become that kind of light. They have the ability to get to that place where their own lights start to light up, where the knowledge becomes a reflection, where other people see the reflection of your whole entire being. And that can leave ripples. It can leave things in this universe where other people can recognize that this is what you have, that you ultimately have within yourself all that you'll ever need. All that's there for you is a blessing of this universe, that you can utilize what you do have to become the best at the things that you take on a daily basis, that you can become the best at the things that you face off against daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. And so how can that light up other people's worlds? How can that get from within you to the whole entire being? How can the whole entire being become that kind of light that leaves ripples for other people? And that all starts with you. It all starts with your ability to see where you're at, to get to the place within yourself to where the challenges that you face off against don't stop you from being able to be that person sitting down at the table. They don't stop you from putting your whole entire being in such a way that you have what it takes. And so the universe is just asking you what you got and if you can do with what you got. And so when you answer that back with, yes, I can, when you answer that back with, the challenges that I have faced off against no longer have the ability to stop me, that you are ultimately becoming a reflection of your level of discipline. You're becoming a reflection of that kind of light, that the focus and the knowledge and the whole self is centered within oneself, that it becomes a mastery on the outside from within, that is a place within ourselves that becomes a light in this universe. And this universe needs you. It needs the things, the abilities that you have, the place that you truly are on the inside. It needs you to be who you truly are. It needs you to face off against the challenges that you truly face off against. It needs you to find the positivity within yourself. It needs you to recognize that you can do this, that it is possible to reach the person inside of you. It is possible for you to become what you have. It is possible for you to utilize the things that you do have, and for the light in this universe to light up, and for the radiating light to shine. And so when we shine truly as who we are, when we shine truly as who we are on the inside, when we allow ourselves to have this kind of blessing, when we allow ourselves to become this kind of blessing, when we give this type of place to the ability to have an able mentality, to have an able knowledge, to have ability to hold the whole being together sufficient within oneself, we reach a place inside where understanding comes from within, where understanding comes from that ability, where the ability from within ourselves becomes those kind of blessings. And so when we light up our own world, when we find our way within ourselves, the universe starts to utilize you. It will utilize the things that you have been through to reach the reflection on the outside. It will utilize the things that you've been through to become an achiever, to achieve your dreams, to achieve your goals, to bring things to you, to utilize you as a light in this universe, to utilize you in such a way that there's nothing that has the ability to stop you. There's nothing that has the ability to stop you from seeing the blessings inside of yourself. There's nothing that we have to be afraid of on the outside, because what is happening is the manifestation of the reflection from within. That we have what it takes within ourselves to ultimately become those kind of lights, to get to that kind of a place where these lights on the outside are coming from within you. And so As you connect with the whole entire being to that level, that is when you start to become a tool of inspiration. You start to become a tool of connection. You start to become a tool of ripples. And when you leave such ripples greater than yourself, we have seen these places where these reflections, focusing on their mastery within oneself, reaches that place where even after they're gone, the light still shines bright. Even after they're gone, the place within radiates outwards. Even after they're gone, the reflection radiates from within them. And so this is what utilizing what you do have has the ability to do. It has the ability to allow you to have an able mentality to where you are yourself. It has the ability for you to utilize the things that you go through so they no longer have a place to overcome you. And that is when other people start to see you as an inspiration. That's when other people start to reflect outwards that, wow, this person truly has what it takes to be themselves. They truly have what it takes to overcome their challenges. They truly have what it takes to get to that place within them. They truly have the ability to find those challenges as an ability to overcome them. They have the ability to get to the place where the blessing is them, where the things that they go through on a daily basis no longer have that kind of an effect over them. And so are you finding those within yourself? And if not, I would like to light up your world. I would like to invite you to join my network, Motivation, Meditation, and Inspiration. The focus, the knowledge, and the discipline, reflections of motivation, reflections of meditation, reflections of inspiration that light up your day, that light up your way, that give you the ability that other people would see what you have inside of yourself because you see already what you have, and you're not surprised when those are the results. You're not surprised when the results come in, that what you are working on is yourself, that what you are doing is being who you are on the inside, that the challenges no longer have that ability to stop you, that you can do this, that you can become this, that you can achieve this within yourself, that what it takes is for you to go within. What it takes is for you to be there with you. What it takes is for you to overcome those type of challenges, to find that place where other people aren't willing to go, where other people aren't willing to take themselves. And that's the interesting thing about this. Connecting your focus and your knowledge brings you self-centering, brings you self-ability, brings you to a place where you create a foundation within yourself where you are sufficient, where you are a light in this universe, where you light up this universe, where other people see this light and it sparks their own lights, where other people see what you have inside and they start to become a reflection as well. And so as we start to get to the place where we start to master ourselves, the reflections outwards start to come. The reflections outwards start to become mastery. The reflections outwards start to find the way to find it to us. And so when we see these as a positivity, when we see these kinds of challenges in front of ourselves in such a way that the connection is you, that the connection is the ability for you to be yourself, that the connection is your ability to go through the challenges that you've gone through on a daily basis so that you can ultimately overcome them for yourselves. That is where we start to see the light in this universe radiating outwards from within ourselves. That is where we start to see that the challenges that we face off against, we can overcome. That is where we start to recognize that we have what it takes, that what we have inside is a blessing, that you are a blessing in this universe, that the light inside of you radiates outwards, that the ability to utilize your focus and your knowledge is a blessing, and that you are a blessing, and you have the ability to utilize what you do have inside of yourself to ultimately reach that state of light, to reach that place where you can pull yourself out of the darkness and uplift other people in the process of you being yourself. You can uplift other people